Both Sasuke and Killua are characters that are similar and alike. Both are assassin-like, both of them use lightning-based movesets. While anyone would agree that any later iterations of Sasuke would not only dominate Killua with the rest of Hunter x Hunter, people tend to compare the kid version of Sasuke and say it's a bit more fair in comparison. So I'm here to give the honest truth. Something I should go over, and regardless of who I'm going over, be it Sasuke or Naruto, they eventually shown to be relative not equal to each other at the end of part 1. So if I go back and forth between the two, that's just merely because I need to establish which character did what to scale to the other. One of the best speed feats in early Naruto is unweighted Rock Lee being able to outspeed Gaara's Sand Shield. This is important as in the past, just as a child, his Sand Shield is able to protect him from an explosive blast point blankly, with said feat being calculated upwards of essentially Mach 29, and said Lee outspeeding this, just assuming he's bare minimally 2 times that, he would be Mach 58 or high hypersonic plus speed. This is relevant as Sasuke after his 1-month training session was stated to be equal to said Lee in base, hence giving a base 1-month train Sasuke high hypersonic speeds. However, with his 2 Tomoe Sharingan and using the Chidori, he's able to match Gaara in his beginning stages of his tailed beast state. This is important as it's shown even Lee in his 5th gates couldn't push him enough to use his full power. This is shown as even Gaara is able to tag Lee while in base, so even recover instantly from his fight. Even Gaara and Temari knows that this is not only him getting stronger or at his strongest, but Sasuke is someone on his level, essentially putting a 2 Tomoe and Chidori Sasuke above Gates Lee, which would say that entering the gates makes one become dozens of times stronger. Dozen by definition is just a set of 12, and due to there being plural, assuming just 2 dozen, or Lee would be 24 times stronger, or Sasuke would be Mach 1392 or massively hypersonic plus. Then throughout the fight, Gaara's manifestation continued and he was shown and stated to be stronger and faster, and just assuming he got at least 2 times that, he would be Mach 2784, and a base Naruto is able to come and react and tag said Gaara. In response to this, he transforms even further with, again just assuming he at least got 2 times amp from the last, he would be Mach 5568. And when Naruto finally gains his resolve, he's not only able to fight and react, but even push and even outpace said Gaara at these times, making a base kid Naruto in the utmost higher ends of massively hypersonic plus ranges of speed, which a base Sasuke scales to at the end of part 1 has shown they are equally fighting each other, with the both of them in their transformed states being at least 10 times their base, as the Curse Mark version 2 is consistently stated to be a 10 times amp, and Naruto's KM1 tail state is equal to it, making them both respectively Mach 55,680 or around 3.5% the speed of light or sub-relativistic. However, when using the Chidori, it's stated that it not only gives us speed but power amp, and just assuming it's just a 2 times increase, Sasuke and Naruto as his Rasengan equally clashed with him and each other, they would respectively be Mach 111,360 or around 7% the speed of light, which is sub-relativistic. The greatest attack potency feat in all of part 1 of Naruto comes from Choji, as he's able to tank the force that Jirobo did by punching him into the sky, with the actual force needed to do this due to this enlarged size when using the super expansive jutsu comes out to around town level, which Choji can easily tank said force, hence giving him that said levels of power. Now Choji is one of the weakest shinobis in part 1, as this is highlighted upon as no one as a group was even weaker than them, even to the point where they were just hiding from everyone during the Death Force part of the exam. So sending the likes of a base Gaara of all people would scale to the least of said forces being absolutely generously lowball. Now if we follow the last aforementioned scale line as we did with the speed section at the beginning, with a beginning state of Gaara with his tail beast state being superior to a Gauge Elite who is at least 24 times the Gaara's base, Sasuke scaling to said Gaara with his 2 Tomoe Sharingan and Chidori, Gaara being at least 4 times stronger in his final tail beast state, with a base Naruto who reaches his resolve scales to said Gaara, then Sasuke by the end of part 1 is directly fighting is equal to said base Naruto, which if we add up all the numbers, this will make both base Naruto and Sasuke respectively 1.244 times 10 to the 16th joules of energies, or them having city levels of potency behind their punches. And if either Naruto enters his KM1 or Sasuke enters his Curse Mark version 2 state, they'd be getting a 10 times amp as already established, making their output upwards of 1.244 times 10 to the 18th joules, which is actually in the mountain levels of power. And if either one of them uses their Rasengan or Chidori, they would just be deeper into that level. So essentially you have Naruto and Sasuke in those city levels of power to even mountain at their highest. Sasuke's only real abilities come from his Sharingan, as he can copy other people's techniques just by looking at them in use, even physical based techniques. He also has great precognition with the ability to see his opponent's actions before they even make them. And it's shown with the 3 Tomoe you can even perceive down to the cellular level, which is arguably the set if he has that level of perception. Something to address even before tackling Hunter x Hunter scaling as a general is the infamous downplay of their speed, as this stems from the statement in chapter 265 that Netero's punched so fast that it left sound in its tracks. People try to claim this feat caps most of the verse, as Netero was the peak of speed for their verse, and thus the verse is below the speed of sound. However, there are a few things wrong with this, as this statement doesn't place a particular cap on Netero's speed, as it's not saying that he had reached Mach 3 or something on some Jujutsu Kaisen like timing. All it says that he left sound in its tracks. Technically the speed of light would do the same. Which brings to the second point, we have no idea what level of strength Netero was at when he did this, or if he had Nen. Which, mind you, just learning Nen as a base makes one several times stronger, which speaks in volumes how much stronger the strongest Nen master would be. Coupled with the fact that there's nothing that implies the verse is below said level of speed, this would be very disingenuous to say so. A base Killua is confident in being able to take down fighter jets. With its serialization of Hunter x Hunter, the fastest jet at the time being the Lockheed SR-71, which is able to reach speeds up to Mach 3.5 or supersonic plus ranges of speed. This level of speed wouldn't be inconsistent for Killua, as he's able to catch a fish dart inches away from his head in such a small fraction of time, with said feat being calculated upwards of Mach 53.54 or high hypersonic plus. All of this in mind is just base Killua. When he enters Godspeed, however, it's stated that it's a drastic amp to his speed. Even just assuming it's a 2 times amp, he would be Mach 107.8 or massively hypersonic speeds. However, our Godspeed Killua has been shown to be relative to a post-mortem Nen Neferpitou, as he was able to save Gon in time before he was able to kill him, despite him being extremely closer to Gon than Killua was. With a base casual Pitou being able to jump from the Chimera Ant base to Gon, Killua, and Kite, speed blitzing them all in the process. With just how big the base is and just how far away they were from it, the feat is calculated anywhere between the Mach 105 to Mach 378. However, when Neferpitou is actually trying, it's stated that he can reach speeds 2 times faster than he did before, placing his speed anywhere between Mach 210 to Mach 756. With his post-mortem state being stated to amp him, just assuming it's just a 2 times increase, he would be between Mach 420 to Mach 1512. Making Killua in those massively hypersonic to even massively hypersonic plus speed ranges, making those speed of lightning statements even more believable. Killua's Godspeed doesn't actually amp him physically, only in speed, but he is stated to be exactly 10 times weaker than Youpi, with Youpi's Rage Blast being able to self-destruct and vaporize an entire area which he casually tanked, with the actual explosion or the destruction of the area being calculated at its lowest up to large town level to even city level. With Killua being 10 times weaker than either one of those outputs, he would be between 1.956 times 10 to the 14th joules of energy to even 1.372 times 10 to the 15th joules of energy. We essentially have Killua's attack potency between the large town levels to even small city levels of ranges. Killua's abilities consist of a type of instinctive reaction, as he programmed his body to be able to react to enemy attacks before he can physically do it, something akin to Ultra Instinct. He's also able to completely paralyze his opponents. Even his regular attacks are able to do this in his Godspeed state, which we've already established he can work on people that are 10 times stronger than himself. As we can see, Sasuke has Killua outmatched in almost every stat just in base. Technically, Killua got his paralysis off while Sasuke was still in his base. It would technically work on him and leave him open for a deadly barrage of attacks. However, in base, he still has the speed advantage, and paired with the precognition of the Sharingan, it's very unlikely for him to ever even hit him. And if he enters his curse mark state, it just makes his one soul advantage he has now out the window. Overall, Sasuke does win pretty badly, but I do hope this does help people understand just how strong both of them are respectively. As from what I've seen, the scaling has been either very ambiguous and or repetitive to most, so I'm happy I'm able to potentially open eyes to people. So remember, this is just the honest truth.